Go for it.
Perfect. Good evening, everyone. Today our team will present to you our final project challenge for innovation management. I'm Philip Smet. My colleagues are Selina Brutcher, Branka Pali, and Miriam Torres. Our task was, of course, to make a business opportunity of at least $10 million with the market needs plus strategy plus solution, which concludes as in our business opportunity. The first thing we were thinking about was thinking about energy consumption, which is nowadays a really hot topic to define a market and to define a strategy. It's a really growing opportunity market, and we would like to show you a short video.
Energy sources will require us to redesign cities, manufacturing processes, healthcare, and more. We'll also have to rethink some of our cultural values. None of our global problems can be tackled in isolation, and many cannot be fully solved. We have to prepare for business as unusual. Our best goal is resilience, the ability to absorb shocks and keep going. If we do nothing, we still get to a post-carbon future, but it will be bleak. However, if we plan the transition, we can have a world that supports robust communities of healthy, creative people and ecosystems with millions of other species. One way or the other, we're in for the ride of a lifetime. Understand the issues and pitch in. It's all hands on deck.
Like we saw in our short introduction movie, it is a global problem which don't have already a clear solution. The first thing we needed to define was our market. We thought about Mexico, which is now a leading country with a population of more than 140 million people. It's the 10th biggest country in the world, and this will only increase. In 2025, it would be in the top 10 of the biggest countries in the world with a population of 130 million people. Also, like a market we need to focus on is the middle and upper class growing part of Mexico. The middle class is one of the fastest growing classes in the world. If we define it for GDP per capita. The GDP per capita nowadays in Mexico is $14,800, which made like an incredible increase in the past years, and also like the consumer price index. If we also see like in the energy market, we have like one big player, that's CFE, who is, it's actually nowadays a monopoly. They have 92% of the total market share. Like after our brainstorming session, we realized that like people here in Mexico, they really care about the environment, but there are no incentives or there is no really strict regulation to make a changement. So we thought a nice outcome for our survey was reduce personal energy consumption. But that's a topic Selina will tell you more about right now.
Now to the needs, we will have a closer look on them because we want these are the people we are addressing and which we are analyzed. So first we have the assumption that reduce electricity consumption to reduce the costs is very important for the needs of the people, but we also figured out in our future course that people here in Mexico care about the environment, like Philip mentioned at the end of his market risk. So because of this, it's not only important to reduce the electricity consumption at home, it's also important to keep the environment. Now we want to have a closer look on our outcomes. These are our 20 outcomes listed with the best or with the highest opportunity on the top, with 15.6%, 15.6. All of our 20 outcomes are over 10, so they have a high opportunity. 16 of them have, and 14 of them have the high opportunity, and 4 are with an extreme high opportunity, more than 15. So if we do them now in the chart with the improvement and the satisfaction, so that we get our opportunity, you can see that they all map the unserved market. I go back to the opportunities to have a closer look on the 4th highest. The first one is that the people want to maximize the electricity consumption consciously and sustainable. So this is the environmental aspect. Followed by the 2nd highest, that they want to they want to maximize the incentives to keep the electricity and to save electricity at home. Followed by the importance, that they want to minimize the unneeded electricity consumption, for example, because of the power standby. So they want to be informed about it, and they want to measure this at home. And for example, you can see here on the 7th place are the costs, that they want to reduce the costs. So to come closer now to our product solution, we want to mention that the needs of the market are changed electricity consumption continuously and sustainable. People want to maximize the incentives to arrange this goal. They want to maximize the know-how and the extra information to manage their electricity consumption, and they wish to have an ability, such for example an equipment or a tool that control their electricity consumption. According to this, we want to mention that the highest, that our job to be done is manage electricity consumption at home, because with the management of the electricity at home, we can achieve the needs of our market, and therefore now to our strategy.
So if we look once again to this chart, we can see that all our outcomes from the jobs to be done, which is managing electricity consumption at home, they are in the underserved area, which means that we really have a very good opportunity. It's an extreme opportunity with the first 5 ones, and to look a little bit more deep into the strategy, if we just think about how is the current job perform, we can look at this and how do we manage electricity consumption at home. So there is the guy from CFE who comes to your house to measure how much kilowatts per hour electricity did you consume during 2 months, because it's measured every 2 months. Then they put this information into the bill. So you look at this and then you know how much do you have to pay. But actually something interesting is that 83% of the cost is absorbed by the government. So the final customer only pays 16%. So it is subsidized. So we don't pay what it really costs. And so what happens if you want to know how much energy did you consume within less than the 2 months? You can not do anything but wait for your next bill in 2 months. So if you want to know it, you can go to your electric meter and look at this. So most of the people doesn't even know what this means. It's really hard to understand, so you don't know how much electricity did you consume. And well, this is why the current platform does not suit to fulfill the needs of our market, and therefore we need a new platform to do the same job plus other jobs, because as we saw, people is demanding from others to do some other jobs. So we need a new platform creation, and if we go to this chart, we agree that since we need a new platform, it cannot be a sustaining strategy. It cannot be, because then we will have a properly served market, which we don't, or low-cost disruption strategy, because that will mean that we have an overserved market, which is not the case either. And product improvement, that will mean that we will take the same electric meter, and just improve the performance, which is not the case either, because as we saw, we need something different. That's why we go for a new platform, and we need a breakthrough or radical strategy. So, but how will this platform will look like to solve our problems?
So indeed, how are we implementing all the unmet needs? First of all, our solution is based on two things. We need hardware to actually retrieve information from our appliances or our home consumption. And the most important part of our solution is our application. We are planning on creating an application online where we can manage our electricity consumption. So first of all, was the hardware, but okay. First of all, the software then. I should quickly explain the hardware. The hardware is based on a transmitter that transmits the electricity consumption to the internet, and then through our server that we have to build, so we can provide our customers with the information they need. Then they can use their BlackBerry or their smartphone to retrieve it, or their laptop. And we are planning on building or creating an application that is that works on those platforms. So, like Selina already said, we have a lot of important unmet needs, like extra information, incentives, as well as environment, sustainability. Another one is the pressure of your peers, and we want to implement this unmet need by, of course, and obviously using the most used social network, Facebook, Twitter, and so on. How are we planning to do that? For example, we see here 4 people who are friends with each other, Philip, so our group. We are comparing our electricity consumption, and for example, today I used a lot of energy, and Philip saw that and he's commenting on my Facebook, hey dude, what are you doing? Look after your energy consumption. Followed by, very important, there is a basic need, electricity consumption at home. We need to give the customers a clear and user-friendly information about their home consumption. We saw that this is not always the case because it's with graphs, with very difficult numbers. We wanted to do it simple. Research tells us that the colors is very important, smileys, and really simple things. Additionally to this feature, we want them to analyze their products, for example, the laptop. And additionally to that, we are planning on making a platform where you can compare your product with other products from different electrical companies in that product range. Important here is to see that a source of revenue can come from this platform, because we are trying to get electrical companies to buy some web space. Another one was competition, and this is important to have sustainability, because people are motivated when they are competing with each other, and this feature we can implement it to have sustainable outcome. Like this one. Last one is of course the environment. We talked about this. Here it's important to give them information about their electricity consumption and the direct link with the environment. For example, we can give them the direct link with their footprint or other environmental issues. We can provide them with helpful tricks and tips, and we can let them subscribe for news feeds, for example, from environmental organizations. So this is our application. Then the hardware, like I explained, it already exists through the internet to our server and onto most used platforms. So now for this we have to find a solution to put it actually on the market. We encountered some solutions. The most important one was like are we manufacturing it ourselves, and then I'm talking about the hardware, or not? Are we cooperating with the already existing ones, or are we just selling the application and we choose the last one because the cost and the risk and the investment is the less? So we are going with this one. Yeah.
So, just to look a little bit about the business model that you have in your hands, it's important to mention something, that our business model is free. What's our value proposition? So we create this platform, this new system with all these features that Bram was explaining, and you can get also advices of how to improve your electricity consumption. You can measure like every day with updated data every time, and you control, you measure, you compare, you analyze your electricity consumption, and you also can get some advices of how other technologies are better to reduce this electricity consumption. So through this platform, we also create value by giving the platform for other electronic companies, and we have this community, so we create value for these people who are interested in saving money, but also to the advertisers, which are electronic companies, and we capture value by selling the places for advertising and sponsoring. And well, I will explain maybe more at the time for questions and answers, but I just want to point out something important. It's very important for us to make this campaign with convincing people why is this so important to join us with this new platform and system. Why? Because as we saw in the surveys, people really care about the environment, so they consciously want to do something about this. So this is the why. And somebody said, Lord Kelvin, who was a math guy and physics, that if you cannot measure something, you cannot improve it either. So with this tool, you are able to recognize how much energy you are consuming. And why? Because you care about your environment, because you care about the pockets, and when it's talking, numbers are important, if you agree with me, even if it's finance, if it's education, if it's talking about watts, everything, numbers is important, because even by improving a small percentage, you can make the difference. So why? Because we want to save money, and because we care about our future generations, and we care about the environment. So just measure it. That's it.
And that's the end. If there are some questions, please ask.
Very good. Good timing, as we're about to hear.
It was really hard to go through all the business model. That's why we gave it to you. But I know there may be a lot of questions. So
can you clarify for me? I wasn't quite clear about how you generate money.
Through the sponsorships. So, for example, if you saw like the platform, we go back to the platform.